Okay, for part 3 here, we're going to give you a tutorial on how to actually use MAME. How to load your ROMs, how to set your directories. As of right now, this date, from the time you're watching now, the current version of MAME32 is no longer MAME32, it's called MAME UI. And I believe it's 123.123, 1.23, something like that. But I'm using MAME version 0.99 because it's got all my settings already. There's no new games that have come out, no reason for me to really upgrade to the newest version. But we're going to go through here and show how everything works, because every time you load MAME, your front end should come right up if you're using the graphic user interface. If you're using MAME as far as DOS, you'd have to load each game individually. But that's why I like the graphic user interface, because it's right there. I can choose which game. But I'll go through some settings here and show you how everything functions here. Okay, you press escape, brings you to your ROM list. On the left over here, you've got all games available, CHD. When you click on these games, it lists all games working and non. Right now I have 5,705, give or take. Available, I have 4,463. So roughly I got 4,500 games I can play here. You click on CHD, it lists all the games that you have to have the CHD for. Area 51, Beat Mania, the dancing games like that, Carnival. Clones lists all the games that are cloned, various different versions, and so on and so forth. They're all itemized on the left here. Now if you go back to available, it lists all the games that you have currently available to play. And you have different settings up here. You can click, one setting will allow you to view grouped, one will allow you to view just all listed straight up and down. And as far as setting your directories, when you download new ROMs, you have to put them into the ROMs folder associated with the MAME32 version that you're using. When you download that ROM and put it in that folder, that ROM folder, you have to go to options and click directories. And it'll ask you, OK, cancel, browse, insert, delete. You hit browse, and then you choose where the ROMs folder is, and you hit OK. I'm going to cancel that because I already have it selected. You hit OK, and then it'll automatically do a ROM search at the bottom of the screen. It'll scroll across the bottom of the screen. And once that's complete, it'll list how many games you have available. And if you hit all games, it'll list every game you have. Even if they don't work, you'll be able to play it, but it won't work properly. So I just stick to available, and I don't got to worry about any of the games that don't work. There's a few in there that don't work that still come up under available, but 99% of them aren't games that I'm going to ever want to play anyway. But now, let's say you load a game and it's crackly or doesn't quite work right. I'll pick any game here. We'll do MK2. For a quick reference here, instead of scrolling down, there's 5,000 games here, instead of scrolling, you can just type in the first few letters like MOR. It takes you right to, there's all my Mortal Kombat's. We'll pick 3.1 here. But oh, I should point out here, when you have MAME loaded, a good majority of the games, if you press F2, brings up your test menu, and F3 will reset the game. So if in the middle of the game you can press F3, it'll reset it. F2 will bring up your diagnostic menu for most of your games. And you just scroll down to exit and press any one of the buttons. But let's say the game isn't quite working right. You're playing the game and it's crackly and messing up. You escape out of it, you right click on any one of the ROMs, you go to properties. It's the last one in the list here that comes up. And you can go to it, there's a bunch of tabs here for the game, for the individual properties. You hit advanced, you can select triple buffering, match game refresh rate, sync to monitor refresh. A lot of times you can disable triple buffering or enable it, or disable frame skipping here, or enable frame skipping. You have to play around with the different settings of the machine, and different settings of the emulator, I should say. You can go to display, run in a window, you can take off throttle, will fix a lot of those problems sometimes. Throttle's over here on the left. You can't really see it because you're kind of far from the screen. Maybe you can. But that's pretty much how to fix any of those problems. And if your problem still persists, then it may just be a simple fact that you're not able to, the emulator doesn't function correctly for the game yet. Like Mortal Kombat 4, there's currently no MAME version that'll run Mortal Kombat 4. The newest version will load it, but it's simply not playable. It has too much problems with 3D graphics and trying to emulate the 3D. So there's no way to get MK4 to run. You got to run it on PC currently. But another version, I'm going to load Carnival here. Carnival is a game that's like MK4 that's 3D based. When I say 3D, like I mean as far as like polygons and things like that. And it doesn't matter how fast your system is, Carnival simply won't work. It won't work for me. There may be someone out there smarter than I am that has been able to get it fixed, but no matter good properties, no matter what, if I do triple buffering or refresh rates or frame skipping or any of those fixes I told you about, nothing works. And I've tried different versions of MAME, older versions, newer versions, and nothing will ever really get it to work right. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about as far as symptoms, so you can hear what it sounds like when the game's not running properly. Turn the volume up here.
When the moon is full and trees are bare, walk through the cemetery if you
dare. Skip there.
Where skeletons rot.
Anyway, press start here.
Welcome to the haunted house.
That was an example of what I'm talking about. If your game's doing that, usually you can fix that by going right-click and hitting properties and changing some of those other functions I was saying. And like I say, a lot of times it'll fix it, but sometimes the games like that are 3D based, like like Carnival and MK4 and Soul Calibur especially, games like that rely on the 3D polygon kind of graphics, they don't work too well. People are working on it, but right now there's not really any option. But I really don't know what else to say here through explanation. MAME32 I prefer a lot more than just regular MAME. Regular MAME you have to pick each game and load it. It's just easier, and I'd recommend using the 32 version. But I'd also recommend a website called EMU Asylum, EMU ASYLUM. Online, you can download the newest version of MAME and different types of ROMs and things like that. It's an online archive of emulators and ROMs. It's pretty nice. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the next video.